The text message hit like a slap across the face. So sorry you're not there. The party looks amazing. I stared at my phone, confused. What party? My brother Travis hadn't mentioned anything to me. Then again, he hadn't mentioned much lately, not since my third failed IVF attempt. My name is Prudence, and I was about to discover just how cruel family can be. With trembling fingers, I opened Instagram. There it was, a live stream from my brother's perfectly manicured backyard. Fairy lights twinkled over elegant table settings, champagne flowed, and my sister-in-law Zoe stood radiant in a flowing white dress that highlighted what appeared to be, no, they wouldn't, but they had. I turned up the volume just in time to hear Travis's voice smooth as honey. A toast to those who aren't here tonight because it might be too hard for them. No tears at the celebration, right? Laughter rippled through the crowd. Zoe's perfectly painted lips curled into a smirk as she caressed her slightly swollen belly. The camera panned across familiar faces. Our mother Wendy, beaming with pride. Karen from the neighborhood watch. Summer, Zoe's best friend, giggling into her champagne glass. My phone buzzed again. Another message. OMG, are you watching the stream? Can't believe they didn't invite you to their pregnancy announcement party. The room spun. I grabbed my desk to steady myself, knocking over a stack of files. As they scattered across the floor, a familiar folder caught my eye. Evidence, just in case. I'd started collecting it months ago when my art investigation instincts kicked in about Zoe's strange behavior, the late night calls, the mysterious appointments, the way she'd touch her neck when lying, a tale I'd noticed during our first meeting 3 years ago. My laptop hummed to life. I clicked through encrypted files, my hands steady now, anger replacing shock. There it was, the photo I'd been saving. Zoe outside a clinic, kissing a man who definitely wasn't my brother. The timestamp read 6 months before her wedding to Travis. My phone rang. Uriel, my best friend and tech expert. Prue, are you seeing this circus? I'm seeing it. My voice sounded distant even to myself. Remember that guy I asked you to track down? Reginald Rodriguez? Zoe's ex. Yeah, found him last week, still living downtown, working at that rehab center. Clean for 2 years now. Why? I zoomed in on the clinic photo. Because I think he needs to know about this party. Prue, Uriel's voice softened. What are you planning? On screen, Travis was hugging Zoe, both of them glowing with practiced perfection. Our mother wiped away tears of joy. Karen was already live streaming to her thousands of followers, narrating the magical moment. They excluded me because they thought I'd cry at their baby news, I said, my voice hardening. They thought I'd make a scene, make it all about my infertility. Wouldn't want to ruin their perfect Instagram moment, Uriel agreed darkly. I opened another file, a recorded conversation between Zoe and Summer at their favorite spa. My hands had shaken while planting that bug, but years of investigative work had taught me to trust my instincts. The thing is, I told Uriel, they're right. I am going to make a scene. What did you find? I smiled, though there was no joy in it. Everything. I found everything. On my screen, Zoe was raising her sparkling water in another toast. The camera caught her expression. Serene, victorious, secure in her perfect life and perfect lies. Uriel, remember that red dress? The one Zoe said made me look desperate at last year's Christmas party? The one you bought in Paris? Girl, you looked fire in that dress. Good. I stood up, already moving toward my closet. Because I think it's time for a grand entrance. Prue. Uriel's voice turned serious. Are you sure about this? Once you do this, there's no going back. They're still your family. I paused, my hand on the red silk. On screen, Travis was telling a story about how he'd always known Zoe was the one, how their love story was perfect from the start. Family doesn't exclude family, I said quietly. Family doesn't mock your pain for social media likes. And family definitely doesn't keep secrets that could destroy everything. I pulled out the dress, its crimson fabric catching the light like spilled wine. Besides, I added, I think it's time everyone learned what happens when you push the quiet one too far. Send me your location when you get there, Uriel said after a moment. I'll have everything ready to go live the moment you give the signal. I ended the call and held up the dress, remembering Zoe's sneer when I'd worn it last. In the background, my laptop still streamed the party, their laughter a chorus of cruel exclusion. Time to crash a celebration. The red dress still fit perfectly. I'd bought it in Paris during better days when Travis and I could still talk for hours without Zoe's carefully crafted walls between us. Now it felt like armor. You're really doing this? Uriel's voice crackled through my car's speakers as I pulled onto my brother's street. They're live streaming their perfect moment to hundreds of people, I replied, checking my lipstick in the rearview mirror. Seems only fair I make my entrance just as public. Footage from the clinic is ready to go. Just say the word. I parked half a block away, my hands gripping the steering wheel. Through the trees I could see the warm glow of party lights, hear the distant pulse of music. Remember when Travis used to defend me? I asked softly. When we were kids and Mom would say I was too sensitive, too dramatic, he'd tell her to back off. People change, Uriel said, not always for the better. Yeah. I grabbed my clutch, checking one last time that my phone was fully charged, especially when they marry someone who turns their spine to jelly. The walk to their house felt like crossing a battlefield. Neighbors peeked through windows. They'd all seen the live stream by now. Mrs. Rodriguez from next door actually crossed herself when she saw me coming. Music and laughter spilled from the open front door. I stepped into the foyer, and the first person to notice me was Karen, her phone still recording. Oh, my God, she whispered loud enough for her followers to hear. Is that? Heads turned. Conversation stuttered. Summer actually dropped her champagne glass. I walked straight through the crowd, my heels clicking against the hardwood floors. The sea of guests parted like I was Moses himself, their shocked whispers creating a wave of tension that rolled toward the back patio. That's where I found them. Travis at the mic, one arm around Zoe, both of them basking in their moment. And we just couldn't wait to share this blessing, Travis was saying, but his voice died when he saw me. Zoe's face went from glowing to ghostly in seconds. Her hand tightened on her belly, a protective gesture that made my blood boil. Prudence. Travis stepped forward, his smile strained. What are you doing here? I finished for him, my voice carrying across the suddenly silent patio. Crashing your perfect party? Your perfect announcement? This isn't the time, Zoe hissed, trying to pull Travis back. When is the time, Zoe? I picked up a champagne glass from a nearby table. When were you planning to tell me I was going to be an aunt, or was I just supposed to find out on Instagram like everyone else? Our mother appeared, her face tight with anxiety. Prudence, sweetheart, we just thought, given your situation. My situation? I laughed, and the sound made several guests flinch. You mean my inability to have children? The thing we're not supposed to talk about because it might make people uncomfortable? You're making a scene, Travis said, his voice low. Warning. No, brother dear. I raised my glass. I'm making a toast. Karen's phone was still rolling, her live stream now catching every moment. Perfect. To secrets, I said clearly, my voice carrying across the stunned crowd. And second chances, not always being what they seem. Zoe's face changed, fear flickering behind her perfect makeup. She knew. She had to know what I'd found. Prudence. Travis started, but I wasn't finished. To family, I continued, my eyes locked on Zoe, who always tell each other the truth. Right, sister-in-law? That's enough, Zoe snapped, stepping forward. Travis, get her out of here. Why? I asked innocently. Afraid I might say something that ruins your perfect night? Like how you were still seeing Reginald 6 months before the wedding? The glass slipped from Travis's hand, shattering on the patio stones. Zoe's face went from white to green. What is she talking about? Travis turned to his wife. Zoe? She's lying, Zoe said quickly, too quickly. She's just jealous, Travis. You know how she gets. Do I? Travis looked between us, uncertainty creeping into his expression. Do I really know anything anymore? Summer pushed through the crowd, her face flushed with panic. Zoe, maybe we should... Shut up, Summer. Zoe's composure cracked. Everyone just shut up. The crowd was dead silent now, phones recording from every angle. Karen's live stream counter showed over 1,000 viewers. I took a slow sip of champagne, savoring the moment. Should we talk about this somewhere private? Or would you prefer to keep it public, like your pregnancy announcement? Travis! Zoe grabbed his arm, desperate now. Don't listen to her. She's trying to ruin everything. No, I said softly, pulling out my phone. I'm just making sure everyone knows the truth. All of it. The color drained from Zoe's face as I held up my screen, showing her the photo from the clinic. Shall we discuss your recent medical appointments? I asked. The ones under your maiden name? Everyone out! Zoe's voice cracked like a whip. Party's over. Guests shuffled awkwardly toward the exits, phones still recording. Travis grabbed my arm and practically dragged me into his home office, Zoe following close behind. The door slammed shut, but not before Karen slipped in, pretending to look for her purse. What the hell are you doing? Travis demanded, running his hands through his perfectly styled hair. This was supposed to be our night. Like my IVF appointment was supposed to be my day, I countered, before Zoe posted that miracle pregnancy announcement an hour before my procedure. That was months ago, Zoe snapped. Get over it. Oh, I'm over it. I pulled up the audio file on my phone. Just like Reginald is probably over you. Should we hear what you told Summer about him? Zoe lunged for my phone, but I stepped back. Her designer heel caught on the carpet and she stumbled. Careful, I said sweetly. Wouldn't want anything to happen to the baby, either of them. Travis went still. Either of them. What does that mean? She's lying, Zoe said quickly. Travis, baby, she's just trying to hurt us because she can't have what we have. I pressed play. Summer's voice filled the room. But are you sure it's Travis's? Zoe's recorded voice replied. Reggie's so dumb. He'd believe anything. It was just fun. I never thought I'd get pregnant. The color drained from Travis's face. Zoe grabbed the edge of his desk, swaying slightly. When? Travis's voice was barely a whisper. When were you with him? It wasn't... Zoe's perfect composure crumbled. It was just once, maybe twice. It didn't mean anything. Twice. I scrolled through my phone. The hotel receipts show 8 meetings in the past 4 months. Want to try again? You had me investigated, Zoe shrieked. No, I corrected her. I investigated a tip about art fraud at the gallery where Reginald works. Finding out about your little reunions was just a bonus. Karen cleared her throat from the corner. Should I leave? Stay, I said, not taking my eyes off Zoe. I'm sure your followers would love to hear this part. You wouldn't, Zoe breathed, like you wouldn't mock my infertility at every family dinner, like you wouldn't tell Travis I was too unstable to be around your future children. Travis slumped into his chair. The baby? It might not be mine. Travis, please. Zoe knelt beside him. We can work this out. We can get a test done quietly. Already did that, didn't you? I showed them the receipt from the clinic. Under your maiden name, 3 weeks ago. Still waiting for results? A knock at the door made us all jump. Summer poked her head in, mascara streaking her cheeks. Zoe, she said shakily, Reginald is here. The room exploded. Zoe screamed something unintelligible. Travis knocked over a lamp standing up, and Karen's live stream counter hit 10,000 viewers. You called him? Zoe advanced on me, finger pointing. You vindictive barren bit! Travis's hand slammed down on the desk. Don't you dare finish that word. Defending her now? Zoe laughed hysterically. After she ruined everything? You ruined everything, Travis said quietly. The moment you decided to lie about my child. Our child. Is it even ours, Zoe? The silence that followed was deafening. I think, I said carefully, we should invite Reginald in. He deserves to know he might be a father, don't you think? I'll get him, Karen volunteered eagerly, slipping out. Zoe collapsed into a chair, her perfect makeup now streaked with tears. This isn't happening. This can't be happening. Karma's funny that way, I said, moving toward the door. Sometimes it takes years. Sometimes it waits for the perfect moment, like a pregnancy announcement party. Prudence, Travis called as I reached for the handle. Why didn't you just tell me privately? I turned back, meeting his eyes. Like you privately excluded me tonight? Like Zoe privately told everyone I was too emotionally unstable to be around? Some things need witnesses, brother. Some pain needs to be seen. The door opened and Reginald stepped in, looking confused and uncomfortable in his work clothes. His eyes went straight to Zoe's belly. Someone said, he started. Yes, I cut in. Someone said it's time for the truth. All of it. Shall we begin? Zoe buried her face in her hands, her shoulders shaking. Travis stood by the window, his back to the room. Karen's phone kept recording, the red light blinking like a heartbeat in the tense silence. The perfect family portrait was about to shatter, and I had front row seats to watch it burn. You told me it was over, Reginald said, his voice rough with emotion. 8 months ago you said we were done. We were! Zoe's mascara left black trails down her cheeks. Until what? Travis turned from the window. Until you got bored with your perfect husband? Until you needed a backup plan? The door burst open again. Our mother Wendy stormed in, her face flushed with anger and champagne. What have you done? She hissed at me. The guests are posting everything online. Everything. Good, I replied calmly. Let them see the truth for once. The truth? Wendy laughed bitterly. You mean your jealous tantrum? Just like when you were 16 after your father died. Always so dramatic. Always making everything about your pain. The old wound stung, but I stood my ground. Remember what you said then, Mom? Stop crying. You're embarrassing us. Well, I stopped crying. Now I'm just revealing facts. My phone buzzed. A text from Uriel. Paternity test receipt confirmed. Zoe ordered it 3 weeks ago. Results due tomorrow. You know what's interesting? I held up my phone. The clinic where Zoe got her tests done, they have a very specific policy about informing both potential fathers. Reginald's head snapped up. Both what? Shut up! Zoe screamed, lunging for my phone again. Travis caught her arm. No more hiding, he said firmly. No more lies. Summer slipped into the room, clutching her own phone. Zoe, it's everywhere. Karen's live stream has gone viral. Cher's pregnancy party drama is trending. This isn't about social media, Zoe shrieked. This is about her. She pointed at me. She couldn't handle our happiness, our perfect life. Perfect, I cut in. Like when you faked a panic attack to stop me from taking that job in London? Told Travis I was abandoning the family when really you just couldn't stand the thought of me succeeding? Travis turned to Zoe. You did what? She's lying. No, Summer said quietly. She's not. You told me about that, Zoe. You said you couldn't let Prudence show you up with some fancy international career. The room fell silent except for Zoe's ragged breathing. I think, Reginald said slowly, we need to talk about the baby, about timing, about possibilities. There's nothing to talk about, Zoe insisted, but her voice wavered. My phone buzzed again. Another text from Uriel. Found more hotel receipts, sending now. I opened the attachment and smiled. Interesting dates here. The Hilton downtown, March 15th. The Four Seasons, March 29th. The boutique hotel by the gallery, April 3rd. Stop, Zoe whispered. And according to your social media, I continued, you announced your pregnancy on May 10th, 12 weeks along. The math is interesting. Travis sank into his chair, head in his hands. All this time, all those late nights at the gallery. Travis, please. Zoe reached for him, but he jerked away. Don't touch me. His voice was ice. Don't you dare touch me. Karen, who had been unusually quiet, suddenly spoke up. My followers are asking about the other bombshells you mentioned, Prudence. Something about art fraud? Reginald stiffened. What about the gallery? Oh, yes, I smiled. Let's talk about those mysterious paintings that appeared in your inventory last month. The ones with suspiciously perfect provenance papers. The ones Zoe helped authenticate. You wouldn't, Zoe breathed. Try me. Our mother stepped between us. Enough. Prudence, you've done enough damage. Leave now before... Before what? I challenged. Before the truth ruins your perfect family image? Too late. My phone chimed with an email notification. The subject line made my heart race. Paternity test results. Priority processing complete. The room went deadly quiet as I opened it. Well? Travis's voice cracked. What does it say? I looked at Zoe, who had collapsed into a chair, all pretense of dignity gone, at Reginald, who stood awkwardly by the door, at my brother, whose perfect life was unraveling thread by thread. Would you like to tell them? I asked Zoe, or should I? She buried her face in her hands, shoulders shaking with sobs. Congratulations, Reginald, I said softly. It's a match. The sound Travis made was somewhere between a laugh and a sob. Karen's live stream counter hit 50,000. Summer gasped. Our mother grabbed the desk for support. I'm going to be sick, Zoe mumbled, rushing from the room. Travis looked up at me, his eyes red. Why like this, Prue? Why not just tell me privately? Because, I said, my voice finally breaking, sometimes the only way to be heard is to make sure everyone is listening. My phone buzzed one final time, a message from Uriel. You okay? I typed back quickly, no, but for the first time in years, I'm free. The next hour unfolded like a slow-motion train wreck. Karen's live stream had gone viral, with clips spreading across every social platform. Its pregnancy party drama had evolved into Mom Zoe lies and why revenge served cold. My career is over, Zoe wailed from the bathroom. The gallery board will see this. Funny how that's your first concern, Travis said, his voice hollow. Not the marriage you destroyed or the life you've been faking. Reginald paced by the window, running his hands through his hair. I need to call my sponsor. This is too much. Your sponsor? Travis's head snapped up. You're in recovery? 2 years clean? Reginald nodded. Which is why this is so... He gestured helplessly. Zoe knew I was vulnerable. She knew exactly what she was doing. Summer's phone kept chiming with notifications. The neighborhood Facebook group is exploding. Mrs. Peterson is calling for Zoe to step down from the HOA board. The HOA board? I laughed. That's what people are worried about? My phone lit up with a text from Uriel. Gallery board member just went live. They're launching an investigation into the authentication papers. Travis, our mother pleaded, we need to control this narrative. Issue a statement, something about private family matters. Private? Travis stood suddenly, knocking over his chair. Like how you privately told Prudence to skip family dinners because her infertility talk made Zoe uncomfortable? Or how you privately suggested she skip Christmas because seeing the kids open presents might be too hard for her? Wendy stepped back, shocked. I was trying to protect who? I cut in. Your perfect son? Your perfect daughter-in-law? What about protecting me? The bathroom door opened. Zoe emerged, makeup smeared but chin held high. You want to talk about protection? What about my reputation, my future? Your future? Travis laughed bitterly. What future? Our marriage is over. Your art fraud is exposed. The baby? His voice cracked. The baby isn't even mine. We could work something out, Zoe said desperately. Keep it quiet. Raise the baby together. No, Reginald stepped forward. No more secrets, no more lies. That's my child, too. Karen, who had been surprisingly quiet, suddenly gasped at her phone. Oh my God, Summer, someone leaked your spa day recording. The whole conversation about Reginald is online. Zoe whirled on Summer. You recorded me? No! Summer held up her hands. I would never. I cleared my throat. Actually, that was me. Amazing what you can do with a tiny microphone and years of investigative experience. You bugged the spa? Zoe screamed. That's illegal. Actually, I smiled. In this state, it's legal to record if one party consents. Summer didn't know, but I was there, getting a massage 2 tables over. The room erupted again. Zoe lunged at me, but Travis caught her arm. Don't, he warned. You've done enough. My phone buzzed with another update from Uriel. Police just called the gallery. They want to talk about those authentication papers. Zoe, I said softly, you might want to call a lawyer. Art fraud is a federal crime. She sank to the floor, designer dress pooling around her. This can't be happening. This was supposed to be my perfect life. Perfect? Travis's voice was thick with disgust. Was any of it real? Before she could answer, Summer's phone chimed again. She read the message and went pale. What now? Wendy demanded. Someone. Summer swallowed hard. Someone found old texts between Zoe and Reginald. From last month, she told him. She looked at Travis apologetically. She told him she never loved you, that you were just convenient. The silence that followed was deafening. Travis walked to the door, his shoulders straight but his hands shaking. I want you out of my house, he said without turning around. Both of you. He looked at Reginald and Zoe. Travis, please, our mother started. You too, he cut her off. I'm done with all of it. The perfect family act, the social climbing, the lies. He turned to me finally, his eyes red but clear. You could have told me privately. Would you have believed me? I asked quietly. He didn't answer, just walked out. We heard the front door slam moments later. Zoe remained on the floor, mascara-stained tears dripping onto her white dress. Reginald awkwardly offered her a hand up, which she ignored. I hope you're happy, she spat at me. You've ruined everything. No, I replied, gathering my things. You did that all on your own. I just made sure everyone saw who you really are. As I walked out, Karen's live stream still rolling, I heard Zoe's last desperate cry. What am I supposed to do now? I didn't turn back. Some questions don't deserve answers. The gallery boardroom felt colder than usual. I sat across from 3 stern-faced directors, my evidence folder open between us. These authentication papers, Director Phillips tapped the documents. They're definitely forged. The watermarks are wrong, I confirmed. and the provenance dates don't match the shipping manifests. My phone buzzed. Another message from Uriel. Police just picked up Zoe for questioning. The boardroom door burst open. Reginald rushed in, looking disheveled. I had nothing to do with the forgeries. Zoe handled all the paperwork. I trusted her. Mr. Rodriguez, Director Phillips frowned. This is a private meeting. No, I held up my hand. Let him speak. He's part of this too. Reginald collapsed into a chair. She said it would help my career, that authenticating these pieces would put me on the map. I never thought that she was using you, I finished. Again? The door opened once more. This time it was Summer, tears streaming down her face. They just arrested Zoe. It's all over social media. Director Phillips stood. Perhaps we should reconvene. No, I said firmly. We finished this now. 3 paintings with forged papers, all authenticated by Zoe, all conveniently discovered in Reginald's section of the gallery. She set me up, Reginald whispered. She needed someone to take the fall if... My phone rang. Travis's name flashed on the screen. Excuse me. I stepped out into the hallway. Travis? Did you know? His voice was rough. About the gallery fraud? When you started digging? I suspected something was wrong with the paperwork. That's my job. Finding out about Reginald, that was unexpected. He laughed bitterly. Like finding out my wife's pregnant with another man's baby, or that she never loved me? Travis? The police are at my house, he continued. They're taking her computer, her files. She's crying, saying I have to help her, that it was all for us, for our future. In the boardroom, I could see Reginald showing the directors something on his phone, probably messages from Zoe. What are you going to do? I asked. Nothing, Travis replied. I filed for divorce an hour ago. Let her face the consequences. Summer appeared at my elbow, her phone held out. On the screen, a news website blazed the headline, Local Gallery Scandal, Pregnant Socialite Arrested in Art Fraud Investigation. I have to go, I told Travis. The directors need my statement. Prue? His voice stopped me. I'm sorry about everything, about not seeing what was happening. Me too, I said softly and hung up. Back in the boardroom, Director Phillips was looking grimmer than ever. Mr. Rodriguez has shown us some disturbing messages. It appears Miss Parker was quite deliberate in her deception. She wanted me dependent on her, Reginald said. The authentication would boost my career, but if anyone discovered the fraud, you take the blame, I finished. My phone buzzed again. A message from Karen. Police found more forged papers at their house. Zoe's crying about being set up. No one's buying it. Just art fraud mama trending. The gallery's reputation, Director Phillips began, will survive, I cut in, because you caught this early, because you're cooperating with authorities. Summer's mascara left black smudges on her tissue. I can't believe she used everyone like this. The baby, the fraud, everything was just a game to her. Not a game, I corrected. A performance, and now the curtain's fallen. Reginald stood suddenly. I need to call my lawyer. If I'm going to be a father, I need to do this right. As he left, my phone lit up with another message, this time from our mother. Are you happy now? You've destroyed this family? I typed back, no, Mom. I exposed the truth. There's a difference. Director Phillips cleared his throat. Miss Parker, Prudence, the board would like to offer you a permanent position, head of authentication and verification. We clearly need someone with your attention to detail. I looked at the offer letter he slid across the table. The salary was impressive. You don't worry about my emotional stability? I asked dryly. I hear I'm quite unstable. No, he smiled slightly. I'd say you're exactly as stable as we need. My phone buzzed one final time. A message from Uriel. Zoe's being processed downtown. Travis is meeting with divorce lawyers. You okay? I looked at the offer letter, then at Summer's phone still showing the news headline, then at the evidence folder that had started it all. Yes, I typed back. For the first time in years, I'm exactly where I need to be. Director Phillips raised an eyebrow. Do we have a deal? I signed the letter without hesitation. Sometimes karma needs a little help, and I was ready to make truth my full-time job. 3 weeks later, I sat in my new office at the gallery, watching Zoe's court appearance on the local news live stream. She'd traded her designer dresses for a modest gray suit, her perfect makeup replaced by dark circles under her eyes. My phone rang. It was Reginald. They offered me a plea deal, he said without preamble. Testimony against Zoe in exchange for immunity. Are you taking it? I have to. For the baby. He paused. The lawyer says I might get full custody, given the circumstances. The news anchor's voice filled the silence. Local socialite Zoe Parker faces multiple federal charges of art fraud and conspiracy. A knock at my door interrupted us. Summer stood there, looking uncertain. I'll call you back, I told Reginald. Summer sat down, fidgeting with her purse. I just saw Travis. He's not doing well. Define not well. He's drinking a lot, sleeping at the office. She pulled out her phone. Have you seen Zoe's latest interview? I shook my head. Summer pressed play. Zoe's tear-stained face filled the screen. I did it for love. Everything I did was for love. Travis needed status, connections. I just wanted to give him the perfect life. Turn it off, I said quietly. There's more? Summer scrolled through her phone. Karen's blog post about the whole scandal has gone viral. Publishers are offering her book deals. I laughed without humor. Of course they are. My office phone lit up. Director Phillips calling. Prudence, the FBI agents are here. They want to discuss the other galleries that might have accepted forged pieces. On my way. Summer stood to leave, but hesitated. Your mother called me. She wants to arrange a family meeting to heal the rift, she says. No, I said firmly. Some rifts shouldn't be healed. As if on cue, my phone buzzed with a text from our mother. This vendetta has gone far enough. Your brother needs his family. I typed back, he needs truth more than he needs pretense. The FBI agents were waiting in the conference room, surrounded by files and photos. Agent Martinez looked up as I entered. Ms. Parker, we've traced 3 more paintings to galleries in Miami and New York. Same forgery pattern. How long was she planning this? I wondered aloud. Long enough to create quite a web, Agent Martinez replied. Your brother's divorce proceedings revealed some interesting financial transfers. My phone buzzed again. A message from Uriel. You need to see this. Zoe's lawyer just released a statement. I opened the link. My blood ran cold as I read. My client acknowledges her role in the authentication process, but maintains that her actions were influenced by pressure from family members, specifically her sister-in-law, whose professional jealousy and personal vendetta. She's blaming me? I couldn't help laughing. Classic. Agent Martinez raised an eyebrow. Will this complicate things? No, I said firmly. I have everything documented, every investigation, every paper trail, every recording. My phone rang again. Travis. Did you see? He asked, his voice slurring slightly. The statement, yes. She's trying to drag you down with her. He hiccuped. Just like she dragged me down. Travis, are you drunk? Maybe. Probably. Does it matter? He laughed bitterly. Everything's public anyway, might as well drink in public too. Where are you? That bar near the gallery, the one where I proposed to her. Another bitter laugh. Funny, right? I grabbed my purse. Stay there, I'm coming to get you. As I headed out, Summer caught up with me. Karen just posted that Zoe's being offered a reality TV deal, something about redemption behind bars. Of course she is, I muttered. My phone chimed with another message from our mother. This needs to stop. You're tearing this family apart. I stopped walking and turned to Summer. You know what? I'm done feeling guilty. Zoe lied about the baby, committed fraud, manipulated everyone around her. Our mother enabled it. Travis ignored it. I just exposed it. And now? Now? I smiled grimly. Now I'm going to pick up my drunk brother from the bar where his life fell apart, take him home and help him face reality, because that's what real family does. Summer nodded slowly. Want company? No, I said, heading for the elevator. Some messes you have to clean up yourself. My phone buzzed one last time. A voicemail from Zoe. You think you've won? You think exposing everything makes you better than me? At least I tried to create something perfect. What have you created except chaos? I deleted the message without finishing it. Perfect was never the goal, the truth was. The gallery hummed with opening night energy. My new authentication protocols had restored confidence, and collectors were returning in droves. I adjusted a painting slightly, making sure the lighting was perfect. Still obsessing over details? Travis appeared beside me, looking better than he had in weeks, sober, clear-eyed. Someone has to, I smiled. How was court? Divorce finalized. Judge wasn't impressed by Zoe's emotional distress defense. He straightened his tie. Reginald got full custody. She's not allowed the contact until after she serves her sentence. My phone buzzed. Uriel sending updates about the gallery's security system upgrades. Before I could respond, Karen swept in, practically vibrating with excitement. Have you seen the news? Zoe's reality show deal fell through. Apparently, networks don't want to risk association with art fraud. Shocking, I deadpanned. Summer joined us carrying champagne flutes. The baby's doing well. Reginald showed me pictures. He's got the nursery all set up. Good for him, Travis said quietly. At least someone's getting a happy ending. Speaking of endings, Karen checked her phone. Your mother just posted another family healing message on Facebook. Very passive-aggressive. I took a champagne flute. Let her post. I'm done managing other people's narratives. Director Phillips approached our group. Prudence, the FBI agents are here. They want to thank you personally for helping crack 3 more fraud cases. Just doing my job, I said, but pride crept into my voice. More than that. Travis touched my arm. You're doing what you always wanted, protecting art, exposing lies. Remember when we were kids and you catch me in every fib? You were a terrible liar, I laughed. Still am. He looked around the gallery. This is what you were meant for, not playing happy family for Instagram. My phone lit up with a message from Reginald. Baby's first ultrasound today. Thought you should see your nephew. Attached was a grainy black and white image. I showed it to Travis. He stared for a long moment. You know, he said finally, I'm actually glad it worked out this way. That baby deserves better than Zoe's lies. Summer squeezed his arm. You deserve better, too. The gallery doors opened and our mother walked in, determination on her face. Here we go, Karen muttered, phone ready. Prudence, our mother started. This has gone far enough. The social embarrassment, the scandal. Stop, I held up my hand. Just stop. This isn't about social embarrassment. This is about truth. Truth? She laughed bitterly. Truth destroyed our family. No, Travis stepped forward. Lies destroyed our family. Lies about perfect marriages, perfect pregnancies, perfect reputations. Prue just exposed them. And now what? Our mother demanded. What's left? Reality, I said simply. Messy, honest reality. A brother healing from betrayal. A baby who'll grow up knowing truth matters. A sister who finally stopped apologizing for existing. I never. You did, Travis cut her off. We all did. Made Prue apologize for her pain, her struggles, her integrity. Not anymore. Agent Martinez approached our group. Ms. Parker, we've traced the fraud network to galleries in Europe. Would you consider consulting on the international cases? I smiled. Actually, I would. International cases? Our mother sputtered. But what about family obligations? This is my obligation. I gestured around the gallery, to truth, to integrity, to being exactly who I am. My phone chimed with another message from Uriel. Ready to go live with the gallery's new authentication database. You changed the whole industry. Travis raised his champagne. To my sister, who taught me that perfect lies are worse than messy truths. Summer joined the toast. To karma. To consequences, Karen added. Our mother stood alone, watching her carefully constructed world crumble. You'll regret this vindictiveness. No, I said quietly. I regret the years I spent trying to fit into your perfect picture. Now I'm painting my own. She left without another word. Travis squeezed my hand. You okay? I looked around the gallery, at the authentic art, the honest faces, the clear consciences. Better than okay, I replied. I'm free. Agent Martinez called me over to discuss the European cases. As I walked away, I heard Karen say to Summer, now this would make a great book. My phone lit up one last time, a message from the prison system. Inmate Zoe Parker's request for contact denied. I deleted it without responding. Some chapters need to stay closed. Travis caught up with me, champagne in hand. Ready to change the art world? I smiled, remembering the little girl who always caught his lies, who always sought the truth. Ready to change everything,